Hey everyone, welcome back to our inspirational interview series. I'm Hannah Levin with Heartfelt Wellbeing, and I am here today with the fabulous Ashley Holmes. Hi, Ashley.
Hello. Thank you for having
Glad to,
me.
glad to have you here. So I invited Ashley to come talk with us. She also is in the yoga world and is a holistic fertility coach. And we've had some really fabulous conversations recently after meeting in a women's business group. And she is going to share with us today about the chakras, meditation, and fertility, and kind of the bigger picture of fertility. Maybe not just specifically about getting pregnant or having a baby, but living a fertile, uh, creative life. Um, but before we get into that specifically, I'd love for you just to introduce yourself a little bit more and share how you came to do this work in the world.
Sure, I would love to. I feel like my path chose me and it chose me for
Mm,
a reason. And, I really needed to embrace and embody that and realize that there are so many women struggling with this issue or people in the world that are having this difficulty and just providing an alternative that has no negative side effects and just positive benefits. And, it has helped me to birth a business. It has helped me to birth books. It's just like birthing into the world, what you want to exist. So, yeah, a fertile mindset and a fertile life.
yeah, yeah. And these ancient wisdom pieces can help us so much in the modern day challenges that we might be experiencing.
Definitely. Yoga and
Yeah.
meditation has just been like the anchor and the grounding and something to always come back to and just to, return to my true nature and, to keep me connected and to, come from that place instead of stress and overwhelm. So we all experience
Mhm.
stress and overwhelm in our life, and stress can be a good thing, but we need to be able to shift out of that and to not be functioning and operating in this fight or flight mode all the time. And, you know, COVID and infertility, all of the things really do impact us. And
Mhm.
it was, so beneficial and helpful to me to learn how to come into rest and digest mode and to be able to do that for myself. And then also to balance my energy and my chakras and to learn about my energetic body and that I'm more than just this physical body and to tap into that and to shift blocked and stuck energy was just absolutely transformational. And it's like there's no going back. Once you've seen something, there's no going back. It's no longer unseen.
Yeah. Yeah. Fabulous. Well, that seems like a really great introduction into exploring the chakras. So, will you, for folks that aren't familiar with what the chakras are, will you give us a little introduction?
Sure. So these are your energetic centers or discs in the body. So starting at the base of the spine is your root chakra. And that's really where all of our ancestral power and some of those can be passed on, from generation to generation. So it's sort of taking and seeing what serves you and, detaching from the rest and just bringing yourself back into balance. So we can either be, excessive or deficient or balanced in our chakras. So it's really like finding that place of groundedness and security and stability within. And then, moving up to your sacral chakra, which is, the root and the sacral chakra are sort of the primary focus for women with infertility because your reproductive organs are housed in your sacral chakra. So if you have any sort of reproductive issues or urinary issues or those sorts of things, and it's really just healing and clearing and working with that energy. And then moving up to your or your solar plexus, around the navel is, your power center and stepping up into your power and, asking questions at the fertility clinic and, not being afraid to, you know, be empowered and to, know your self-worth and your self-trust and your faith and to really just embody your self-esteem so that you can get to where you want it to be, because infertility can be a sort of disheartening and, hopeless sort of struggle. And sort of the longer you're on there, it's harder to bring yourself energetically out of that place. So, and it can weigh on your heart. So, your heart chakra, you know, having forgiveness for your body in particular, if it's not operating and it's not achieving that result that you are expecting or wanting to experience, having that self love regardless of conception or not. And that can be a little bit of a challenge as well. And just offering practices and meditations to just find that within. And then moving up to your throat chakra, speaking your truth, saying what's on your mind and not holding it all in. And I know personally that I did that and I silenced myself and my struggle. And I realized how much that really didn't serve me. And I feel like a lot of women are in that same place. And, they don't know what sort of support to seek, because you can get all the medical and physical support you need, but then you leave and there's nothing else. And, that's sort of the missing piece and what I'm offering, so that you can find peace in the process, so that we're working with your cycle, with your energy as you're moving through this process. And so it doesn't seem so overwhelming and so stressful, and you're sort of returning your body back to your optimal state of health. And then your brow chakra is really just, listening to your body and tuning into your intuition and moving from that place and honoring what you need, regardless of external circumstances. If you need rest or you need, self care, it's of utmost importance, and really nourishing your body and your mind and your spirit throughout the whole process is truly what allowed me to be able to conceive naturally, and I had a limiting belief that I needed to use a clinic, or that would not be a possibility for me. And, that was not the truth. And I broke through that limiting belief, and it was like, wow, meditation helped to get into my subconscious to realize what was there. And once I could shift and move that and sort of rewrite those programs, then you're not bound by them. And, that's not controlling your life anymore.
Hmm. And did you do the crown?
And the crown, yes. The
Okay.
crown is just your connection to source, to universal consciousness, whichever, resonates with you the most. And yeah, just allowing that energy to flow and move upward and move through life from there.
Yeah. Yeah. So these energy centers are described in the ancient texts and can be connected with currently in our own lived experience. And I love how you tied each of them into the creative energy of what does it mean for fertility, and how each of those things relate. Yeah, and the root chakra, I think, is one that a lot of us tend to um, not tune into as much. Like we're like, oh yeah, that's like our family, but it's so much of like grounding in it, like feeling like you belong
Yeah.
somewhere, like you have a place in the world, and that you have your feet on the ground, like you have a
Yes.
place to be. And in our world that's so mentally focused, I think we can get really separated from that feeling, especially as we're traveling so much. Or I mean, now especially coming out of COVID, but in general, our world is very mobile. We have mobile phones. We can get in planes and fly to another continent. We can go all these. So really, like grounding, centering, connecting where we are and in our own physical beings is so powerful. Yeah. So what are some of your favorite practices in terms of fertility in relationship to the chakras?
So I love just to, balance the chakras from like root all the way to the crown. And, this is often something I do to start my day of like, it doesn't have to be super long, but like a 10-minute practice where you're just doing the seed sound for each of the chakras, just like, you feel rounded and connected, and like you're connected to source for the rest of your day, and you're moving from that place instead of, you know, I used to, get pulled out of bed from my kids, and, that was how I started my day. And it's like, no, I get up before them now and I take time for me so that I can come and show up for them in a better way, for my husband, for my clients, for, interviews, all the rest of it, to just come from that place instead of like, okay, yep, feet on the floor, like, let's
Go.
go.
Yeah. So you mentioned the seed sounds. Those are bija mantras. And
Yes.
can we go through, and maybe we can invite folks who are watching too to join in what those are, so you can try these out and see how they feel.
Sure. So if you'd like, maybe I'll just like guide you through something um,
Great.
quickly here so that you can feel the effects of this, because, people who have never done it before have said like, my headache is gone. Like just instantaneously, anything that is sort of, showing up for them presently, it's just like 10 minutes and they're like, wow, I feel so much better. I feel, it's just washes over you from top to bottom. It is like an energetic cleanse. So, then you can just move from this place. So, sure, I'll invite you to close your eyes, find a tall spine if you're seated, or you can do this lying down. But if your spine is stacked, then you can bring your attention and your awareness to your root chakra at the base of the spine. And here, visualizing a 4-petal red lotus flower. And this is your place of stability and courage and security, trust and faith. So you can tune in with me, or you can join in with the seed sound for the root chakra. It is Lam, Lam. So inhaling here and exhale. Inhaling. Lam. Then bringing your attention and your awareness up to the sacral chakra and visualizing a 6-petal lotus flower here. And this is our center of pleasure and creativity and nurturing ourselves and others, as well as releasing any guilt, shame, doubt, any addictions, neediness, fear of change. So you can join me or tune in for the seed sound of the sacral chakra, which is VAM, VAM. So inhaling here, filling the body with breath, exhaling, inhale, BAM. Moving higher in the body, up to the solar plexus. So this is around your navel, and you can sort of visualize this as like the sun or just that fire energy within you. And when we work with the solar plexus, we really want to be moving the energy upwards and directing it towards the heart. So the solar plexus really involves self-respect, self-care, self-discipline, self-esteem, and your courage to take risks. So moving away from victim mentality and stubbornness or hyperactivity, and finding that empowered place within. So you can join me or tune in to the seed sound for the solar plexus, visualizing here a 10-petal yellow lotus flower. And the seed sound or bija mantra for the solar plexus is Ram, R-A-M. So inhaling here, exhaling, inhale, Ram. Moving up to your energetic heart center. So this is in the center of your chest. You can visualize here either a 12-petal pink lotus flower or a 12-petal green lotus flower. And this is our center for hope and peacefulness and compassion and acceptance of others, as well as self-love and forgiveness. So noticing whether you have any bitterness or withdrawal within, or whether you are jealous or overly sacrificing, and taking the time now to notice what may be present for you, and breathing into an open heart, an open mind, an open body. Self-love is a language of feeling, which is a language of your higher self or divine consciousness. So you can tune in or join me with the seed sound for the heart chakra, which is Yam, Y-A-M. You can inhale here, exhaling, inhale, Yam. Moving up to your throat chakra and visualizing here a blue 16-petal lotus flower. So with this chakra, wanting clear and concise communication, speaking your truth, expressing yourself, as well as being able to set boundaries. Noticing if this energy may be deficient or excessive in any way. So whether there's shyness or difficulty putting feelings into words, or whether there's an inability to listen or gossip, and also noticing whether having a chronic sore throat or raspy voice, something that occurs for you. And then moving to the seed sound for the throat chakra is hum, H-A-M. And you can join me, or you can tune into the vibration. Taking an inhale here. Exhaling to release the breath fully. Inhale. Moving up to the third eye chakra, the place in between your eyebrows. I'm visualizing here a 2-petal purple lotus flower. And the left petal is your sun energy and the right petal is your moon energy. And this is our place of intuition, wisdom, and insight, as well as right reasoning. And when we are balanced within this chakra, we are imaginative and perceptive, and we're releasing judgments and assumptions, as well as any self-doubt, fear of one's shadow side, and acknowledging any headaches or vision problems. And the seed sound for the third eye chakra is Om. And it is A-U-M because each syllable has its own energetic connection to universal consciousness. So inhaling here, we're tuning into the vibration for Om, filling the body with breath. Exhaling to fully release the breath. Then inhale. Om. Moving the awareness to the crown of the head. Visualize here a 1,000 petal lotus crown resting upon your heads. This is your connection to universal consciousness, to source, to the divine within you. And allow this energy to move from the crown of your head all the way back down, energetically feeling every fiber and cell all the way back down into your root chakra. Feeling all of your chakras being open, spinning, and balanced. Noticing your state of being now. And being ready to take this into the rest of your day. So whenever you feel ready, you can open your eyes. Look away from the screen and then you can come back into your body, into this space and place. And I would love to hear how that felt in your mind, in your body, in your spirit. And it's a practice that I love and I use so often because it's just that powerful and vibrationally elevating and uplifting and just returns you so quickly. Often we think meditating takes so much time, but it really gives us time. So it's
Mm.
really, there's a place for it in your life in some form. There is something for everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really enjoyed getting to experience that. And yeah, as viewers, as you watch the replays, feel free to let Ashley know what resonated for you. She's in our group here. So yeah, we just have a couple minutes left, but will you talk about the power of meditation, or at least your experience of it? You just mentioned it creates more time, which is
Yes.
true in my experience too.
Yeah.
Um, but what are you seeing, especially in relation to fertility?
Because fertility can just be an all consuming, event in your life, and you can get so caught up in it. And it's really important to, sort of detach from that and to take that time and to find that inner peace and that inner stillness within, so that, it's not such a stressful, frantic force sort of feeling coming from within, like I have to make this happen. There's only like one way that this can happen for me. And just moving into a more calm, centered, peaceful place so that you can conceive with ease, and it's not, a big, long, drawn out thing that is taking you years, like thinking big picture. How many kids do you want to have, and how long are you spending trying to have one? What do you want your life to look like, and bring
Mm.
that balance into your life so that you can create that life. And meditation truly allowed me to release and let go of the past and the grip that the past had over me unconsciously. And when I was consciously aware of it, that is how I managed to shift and move and transfer that energy, because energy is always there, but moving that blocked, stuck, stagnant energy is just so freeing. And then life and creation and fertility, just moves into that place once you allow space for that to happen.
Yes. Yeah. I love that last thing you just said, once you allow space, because there's so many of us that want to fill all the space. And it really is in allowing the space that then there is the creativity, the time, the energy, the flow for that larger birth, whatever it is, right? Whether it's birthing a business or birthing a baby or birthing a new um, hobby or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, along those lines, Ashley and I are both participating in a multi-author book that is going to be released later this year, right?
Yes,
Um,
July.
Oh, in July it will be released. Great. So, yeah, we're both going to be participating in that, and so we're getting into our fertile modes of writing here soon. So, as we're wrapping up here, tell folks where they can find you and access more of what you offer.
Sure. I can be found inside my Holistic Fertility Coach Facebook group. And, I offer meditations and these bits of peace and wisdom and holistic practices to help return you to that place of well being and health. And if this isn't what you currently need in your life, then I guarantee someone in your life is in that place. So, you know, depending where you are in the world, it's 1 in 6 women or 1 in 8. So in Canada, where I am, it's 1 in 6. And that truly is a lot of women, and a lot of
Mm.
women who could use some support along the way.
Yeah, yeah, I know statistically the childbearing generation right now is the most infertile that humanity has ever seen. And I think it is um, interesting to ponder why that is. It's like so many factors and a lot of stress, and people are turning to drugs more often than not. And so your work in the world is so needed. Just even what we got to experience with you today of, what happens when we tune into our own bodies, into our own energy, and shift that can really lead to a different relationship with fertility and different potential outcomes. So thank you so much for your work in the world, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Hannah. It's been a pleasure
Yeah,
to be here.
wonderful. Well, we'll talk to you again soon. Take care.
You too.